Wonderful news! At the beginning of this chapter, chapter 83 of the 7 Deadly Sins, Nakaba announces a new spin-off manga of the 7 Deadly Sins. It's going to be all the sins in high school, and you get to see the holy knights and all that are going to be in high school and dealing with, I guess, daily life of school life. That is very interesting. The release date was announced on the cover page of this chapter. It was said that it was going to be starting August 9th. So I'm definitely going to be reading that spin-off manga of the 7 Deadly Sins, because just imagine Bon or Meliodas sitting in a freaking classroom and working. It's just going to be so fucking funny. And with Merlin's appearance at the end of this chapter, pretty much seeing Merlin inside of a school life is going to be funny, because most likely she's going to be one of those, like, rich kids that's going to be really smart and probably stuck up. That's the way I see her character going in the high school manga. So right now, that's incredible news for anyone that loves the 7 Deadly Sins and you love the characters. That is something you should look forward to this coming August 9th. Now, let's talk about this chapter, chapter 83. Oh man, okay, so my theories and probably almost everybody's theories about Merlin was correct. That person that was with King Arthur was Merlin. I guessed it, I knew it, I sensed it, because for one thing, that was a key indicator of that person being Merlin, was because at the beginning of this chapter, okay, on the cover page, if you're looking at King Arthur, okay, look at King Arthur, and you'll see on his desk, it'll see King Arthur, and then you will see Merlin right next to his name. So I was like, Merlin, again, because, I mean, I saw Merlin right next to King Arthur, I'm like, that has to be Merlin then, because, I mean, that's obvious signs, and then we get the, you know, announcement that the rogue mage is Merlin at the end of this chapter. Now, there's big questions that are shown at the end of this chapter. I mean, is Merlin really on the side of the sins, or is she, you know, one of those people that betrayed the sins in the past? I mean, there's always been questions around Merlin's motives. I mean, for one thing, we don't know if she's exactly kind or not, but she has helped out King Arthur, and she has helped out the sins. I mean, if we look at it, okay, from this chapter's standpoint, and from other chapters, this rogued mage, Merlin, has helped out other people. For instance, we get to see, you know, Merlin messing with her apprentice, Vivian, and constantly transporting her, teleporting her to different sections of the entire world, and that was just a glimpse at Merlin's power, which is freaking fucking scary. I mean, she most likely has one of her treasures, her sacred weapon, if she's able to do something like that, I mean, at that scale, because she was just completely transporting Vivian in different locations, like to a dinosaur's one moment, to zombies the next moment, to freaking like a frozen blizzard area, to a forest, water, different stuff like that. So we can clearly see that Merlin is extremely strong. We don't know exactly if her magic is completely dependent on teleportation, or if it could be something else, because we have seen a glimpse of her like entire army, pretty much like an illusion of an army. That could have been Merlin's magic actually teleporting King Arthur's army there, but she teleported all of them back. If that is true, that is fucking scary, because imagine, just imagine, if that was a real army, okay? At the beginning when Merlin and King Arthur's introduction, sitting at the North Gate, imagine if that was a real army and Merlin really did teleport them out. Because that's what we've been shown, she could teleport, so she could possibly have teleported that entire army away. And so, if that is true, the power and scale of her range is insane. It really is. Now, overall, the chapter was solid. I love the artwork. Nakaba does great artwork in this chapter. I love it so much. And we get to see a little bit of stuff that's going on with Freder in the middle of this chapter. Pretty much we have his entire squad come out to try to comfort him and tell him to stop hurting himself. And we find out, you know, pretty much Freder's been bashing himself up against that door for a long time because the door repels attacks. It's upsetting to see, and we also find out a little bit of like, foreshadowing of what most likely will happen in the future. For instance, the king of the entire kingdom states that he knows that something tragic is going to happen near him very soon. He can sense it. We don't know exactly if his visions are always 100% accurate. We have no clue about that, or they might have announced it and I forgot about it. But either way, we don't know exactly if he's 100% correct about his foretellings or his fortune tellings, and at the same time he says he senses something very dark way off in the future. And so what is this very dark thing later off in the future? Is this whatever's going on with Bon at the moment? Is this something with Meliodas? Is this something with the demon clan, the goddess clan? There's a lot of questions there, but at the same time we know something tragic is going to happen very soon. He didn't specifically say Elizabeth, okay? What if the tragedy he's thinking of and he can see is Bon? I mean, it could be, because we don't know exactly what is going on with him at this moment. I mean, he was trying to make a deal with this goddess clan, but that was it. So, most likely that can possibly be what the king is sensing. Now, I like the chapter overall. Mainly what it showed was just seeing Merlin demonstrate her powers and just completely destroying her apprentice. That was awesome. It really was. I liked it a lot. and getting to see how King Arthur announces and says that pretty much he has power inside him, a strong strength power, but he doesn't know how to use it and he can't use it, and the reason why he came to this battlefield was because to help out the king and at the same time unlock his hidden potential. He thought being in a life or death battle would have activated his power, which is kind of obvious to normal shonen, so I kind of expected why King Arthur would think that, but I mean, honestly, what kind of power does King Arthur have? Because at the beginning and middle part of this chapter, I was led to believe that most likely King Arthur's power was to get rid of illusions or teleportation or something, or I guess disable magic, because we clearly saw how Vivian was just teleporting to different locations, so I thought it had something to do with King Arthur. But I was completely wrong, and it was actually just Merlin. So anyways, good chapter. I enjoyed this chapter. I love the reveals, and I love the different things going on, and there's a lot of build-up and foreshadowing going on in these recent chapters that most likely something major is going to happen very soon. So everybody, tell me your thoughts. What do you feel about our new Sin, Merlin, the boar's head of gluttony? I mean, do you enjoy her? Tell me your thoughts on her. Everybody, I love all of you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.